Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street. We're looking quickly here at Vechain, that is VET on the exchange, VET. Guys, of course we've had in the last few days from Vechain announcing their vote to launch the first phase of their POA 2.0 on the mainnet, which is live. So that is phenomenal. This is going to really push Vechain's infrastructure to the limits and also encourage even more projects to enter its ecosystem. It's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love Vechain here. Go and check out our intro videos if you've not watched them already. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. And I just want to emphasize a couple of points here on the chart. So let's go straight into that. So a couple of observations. Of course, we had the big tail up here from the 28th of September around this 8-cent mark. We had a nice push up here to 12 cents, which tapped out around the 9th of October. We had a small little retracement back down, and now we're back up trying to push these levels around this 12.3 cent mark. This is kind of a unique resistance barrier here going on. So let's just quickly draw that in as a point of reference around this area, and it actually kind of tails in with this historic data back here as well on some very interesting points, especially around here in the beginning of September. So it's really interesting to see if we can push past this. If you look closely, you can kind of see on this macro fib retracement, this is really an interesting aspect of area here where we keep dropping back down to. So I'm just going to draw that in as well. So this particular area here between 11.8 cents and 12.3 cents is some significant interest in the data quite recently. So if we can get some closes within this orange gap here over the next 2-3 days, we could start pushing Vechain back up again. But we're looking here at the histogram down here. The intake has slightly slowed down in last few days, but the MACD is still in a positive momentum. It was slightly narrowing as today's movement has, of course, gone into a bit of a dip. But let's see where we close. What I don't want to see is a close under this line here of 11.6, because it would mean that we try and push back down to here. That's not the end of the world in my opinion. I think that's quite a nice healthy move in general, because then that will start adopting this kind of move, which I'll just draw in here with the trend line. If we can actually perhaps potentially keep on this bottom line here of this channel that we've drawn in, and maybe get a bounce off here over the next couple of days, we could start pushing this back up to this mid-level ground. So I think by the time we get into November, we could easily be pushing over that sort of 15-cent barrier, which we haven't sort of touched on really since around that 5th of September mark. But I do think that we'll probably get some resistance around that area as well. So let's just draw that in as a part of the thought process here. I do anticipate once we get to this area, we might have a bit of a tail down and then a bounce back up again. My thoughts and opinions on Vechain will never change. I think that this will be over $1 in this run coming up over the next couple of months. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But I do think that certainly by the time of maybe February time, within this period from now to then, we will see us venturing towards that $1. And I have actually, to be fair, I started drawing on some price points here. So let us know in the comments what you think the price point will be at the end of this year, as in the end of 2021. I've put a cheeky $1.26 here. So yeah, let us know if you think that's ridiculous. Let us know what you think, and I'll start plotting you guys in there. And the closest person, with the exception of myself, obviously, because I've already got one, will get a Ledger Nano X at the end of the year. So a bit of fun of where you think we might see the Vechain price at the end of this year. So I do think that we could get to definitely around that $1 mark. I'm going for 126. I did have some sort of momentum in my mind a few videos back around that 87 odd cent mark, but I think with the POA 2.0 launching now, and the projects that are going to be influxing to Vechain, the awareness of crypto in general, and especially Vechain as well, I think we might push ourselves over that $1 as momentum kicks in. And then I'm looking forward to selling those bags off, because I think I was buying those around the sort of 2 cent mark anyway. So that would be a healthy gain, I think. And I'll be looking forward to buying back into the bear market with that as well. So looking forward to seeing how that occurs. Another couple of points here on the RSI. It's very volatile the last couple of weeks. Something to consider. We're in this kind of middle ground here at the moment, which is why I'm suggesting that potentially we might see a possible dip down here into some slightly lower regions as to where we are currently. So if you are new to Vechain or you're looking for some possible areas of interest, I would definitely concentrate perhaps around these particular areas here of that just slightly above 10-cent mark. Will we come lower? It is always possible, but I think that we've had some good structure around that kind of area already, certainly historically. And we did draw this line in previously, if you remember. We did actually come down to those levels quite interestingly since the last video, which kind of emphasizes our point there, that hopefully we've gained that as a support level. We're now looking at this area here. So we might get a few touch points around here again, like we had done at the beginning of October, before we can start seeing ourselves push up here. But this is the area of interest for me, for us to get support and stability before we can start pushing up to these next levels of 13, 15 cents. And then once we're past that 15, we're going to try and push as fast as we can to that 20 cent. I think once we get past these levels, it will happen quite quickly. So we do anticipate some resistance around this 15-cent mark, or 15.5 cents, but that won't last for very long. It'll be a tail down and back up again for the 20-cent push. We're still a way off still of the previous all-time high, which I believe was around the 27 mark. Yeah, just under 28 cents, I think it was. Let's have a quick look just to confirm that. Yeah, it was the height of 27.9 cents. Crazy. So we've got a bit of time to go for that. But I'm looking at some really positive moves here for Vechain. You can see here the nice channeling momentum upwards. And I see we'll probably get this nice wavy pattern as I suggest. Getting a tail off here, bounce around here, tailing up to here, bounce down, and start taking us up where Vechain belongs. Like I said, let us know in the comments below what you think of Vechain. How bullish are you on this project? Performance wise, 2% or nearly 3% up on the week, 6% down on the month, which is a bit disappointing, but 74% up on the 3 months, and year to date 510% up. Incredible. This 6 months is always red on the majority of charts because it does intake the last tail end off of the last drop down that we had that accumulated through sort of May to June into July time. We'll see the end of that, and that will start going green. And I think once this gets green, you'll be amazed how much psychological power kicks in. People get really excited about projects again and start FOMOing in. So I think we're going to have a few influxes of variables in for Vechain in the next couple of months. One, the general market growth intake, the integration more and more of their mainnet into other projects, and then the hype and the FOMO will kick in as well. That's why I think we'll definitely achieve the $1 in my opinion, not financial advice, but my opinion. And I think we might even stretch that 126 mark. That's quite top end in my opinion. Some people are saying like $2 or $5. I don't think that's possible in my opinion just yet. Certainly in the future, absolutely. But I think for these next few runs, I don't see why $1 is such a ludicrous number. Let us know what you think. We're going to wrap that video up there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next Vechain update. Hopefully in a few days' time. We'll keep an eye on this closely for you and update you as soon as we can. Take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next update video. Bye-bye.